OK.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Sparkling Harmonies. We're your hosts, Lily.
And François.
And we are two friends who don't quite listen to the same music or genres.
But we are here to talk about everything and anything music related. Yay!
Yay! So today we're getting into album art. We decided that we wanted to try to dig into our collections. Well, not physical collections mostly, but our
No.
our listening collections and see which albums stuck out the most for us. So we're gonna get into that in a little bit. But first, what have you been listening to, François?
I don't know why I'm beating myself up like that and always choosing band that I can't pronounce. I think I'm supposed to say Iuja. It's a noise, sludge, grindcore band from Nashville. They just released their second album, The Lurch. Again, another word I don't know how to say. Lurch?
I'm not sure. Yeah, lurk.
Lurch?
No, I'm not 100% sure anymore. We'll need to Google this later.
Damn. So for the movie nerds, so not for you, Lily. It's the name of the race of the alien in Predator, the movie.
Oh, yeah. No.
So if you saw the movie, you know that predators are pretty violent, merciless, bloody, whatever, killing machine. This is what it's all about. It's pretty punch straight to the gut. It's really, really noisy and aggressive, but it's pretty well executed. And the guy seems to really enjoy what they're doing. So I really enjoyed that album. So new discovery for me.
Okay. Was this also another YouTube discovery? You've been making a lot of YouTube discoveries.
Yeah, but not this one. I'm in a small group with François Cal, one of our last guests. It's called. It's a group we have with many friends and other people that we share album we like or discover in the metal genre. So
okay.
someone shoot that one up. So that was good. It's a good suggestion. And what about you, Liddy?
So I have been listening a lot to Butter by BTS, which came out 2 weeks ago now. So we're recording. We're on the 3rd, and it's super catchy, so catchy. Like I listened to it once, and then it was already stuck in my head. It's just a simple pop song, nothing over the top or anything, but it's just has a nice beat. The lyrics make more sense than Dynamite, so I like it more than I like Dynamite. This is their second full English song. The video is really bright and the very vibrant colors, so that was really fun. The choreography is really cool. Like since the last 2 weeks, they've done it live, I think. Well, live. They've done it on talk shows and stuff, I think 3-4 times already. So we've seen multiple versions of it, and the choreography is really cool. And fun fact, the choreography, they put more into the footwork because, so one of the guys, Suga, he had a surgery last fall for his shoulder and he's still recovering and he's still doing work for that. So I think they purposely put more footwork than arm stuff so that he doesn't need to work too hard.
He can do jazz hand.
So Butter, it's really good. And they've already released one remix of it last week, which is so that was the hotter version, which is more like dance, more like club. It's just already like a pretty dancey song, but this was like even more like but that video is the one that you should watch. If you're not really interested in them, that's fine. Go check out Butter Hotter remix. It's just so funny. So it's like one of the guys in the front and then all of the others are in the back and it's chaos. It's chaos. It's blurry, but stuff is happening, but you can't really see, but it's just so funny. So that, and then they're releasing 2 more remixes tonight: the Cooler and the Sweeter. I think Sweeter is supposed to be more R&B, they said, and Cooler is supposed to have guitar. So,
do you think it's gonna be like a recurrent thing to have a summer hit by them because it's 2 years in a row? Maybe they have something going on with that.
and I feel like usually no, because usually they'll be busy touring, but they can't tour. So
Yeah, but maybe it's a way to get into the American radio and like
yeah,
live shows in USA because it's from what I saw from you from all the stuff you shared to me, it's mostly like those like what the other song you said
Dynamite.
Dynamite. That was the song that bring them to night shows late.
No,
Whatever.
they were already
No?
on those shows before Dynamite.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. So
yeah.
That's mean I just discovered them with you.
Yeah, they were on SNL like in 2018. They were already doing a lot of stuff before. So that's the one of my songs. And what about you? What's the other song or other album you've been listening to?
An easy one this time. It's called a talk show host. It's a band from Toronto, and I really like how they introduce themselves as a band. It's 2 pop punkers and a indie rocker get into a bar. So that show all what they touch as a musician. So you can have like that indie, more mellow song, and they give they give themselves the right to do the other side on the pop punk stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think this one is pretty like mellow. It's called
because I can listen to it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's a good point. It's called Warmest Condolence, if I'm saying it properly.
Condol. That's one word that I don't say often in English. I'm not sure either.
Condolence. Okay. That came out like 2 or 3 days ago because they have a new album coming out on June 4th.
Okay.
I really like them. They depend on the album. Like I said, sometimes it's more pop punk, sometimes it's more indie. They mix match during song. To me, it sounds like a band that you can listen on the radio, but you can also see them on a small bar show on a small stage and sing along with people.
Yeah.
They mix those 2 universes pretty well together. So that one. And do you have another one, Lily, for us?
Yes. So the other song I've been listening to is from Point North. It's called Nice Now. I think it was released maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago too. So this was actually a band that our first guest introduced to us, Gabe.
Yep.
He mentioned this band. I looked them up and I was like, oh, yep, they're pretty good. So they just released a song. It's also it's pop punk. It sounds very summery. The lyrics are very emo. The video clip is just chaotic. It's just very traditional, a good old summer pop punk track that you'd expect to hear at Warped Tour, basically.
Oh. So shout out to Gabe and thank you for the discovery.
Yeah. It's a really good track.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So let's get into our subject of today, which is album art. So first, what I realized when we started, when we were doing our little pre-recording meeting was we didn't really talk about criteria together.
No, we jump on each on our side and made our own criteria, I guess.
Yeah, which is fine. It's fine. But so for myself, I purely went on looks.
Okay, that's totally fine. It's a legit point.
And so since my I lost most of my CDs in the fire at my parents' house in 2012, I actually Googled band name albums on Google. Like my history is just band name albums, discography or something like that, to see like, all the bands that kind of popped into my head. So I Googled Simple Plan, Sum 41, The Main with Confidence, BTS. Well, BTS I didn't need to Google because I have all of those. Day 6. And so I got down to 3. I managed to get it down to 3. But what I realized was I didn't like a lot of them. So it was hard for me, not because I had too many choices, but rather because I didn't have enough choices I found.
Okay.
I guess I'm picky.
Yeah, but that's legit because it's a part of what bring you probably to the album.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the memories from the music is better than the memories from the cover art.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. And what about you? What were your criteria?
But at the beginning, I was just like throwing names on the list, like which one I liked, like from memory,
From
like
memory?
out of my head. Yeah, just
I didn't remember any.
I had some, but at the beginning that was pretty cliche, I must say. But that's when I realized that there's many iconic album covers that feel they're doing their job. They're like punchy, memorable,
Like the
whatever.
Nirvana album, the Blink album.
Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, for example.
Mm-hmm.
It's iconic. Everybody knows it. You saw them everywhere on T-shirts, whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say they're probably on a T-shirt somewhere.
Yeah, and from people wearing it, never heard about the band, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than the album, but at the end, I was like, yeah, but it's not really cool. It's symbolic, but it's not like there's no wow factor for me. So I start to dig and realize that I really appreciate when a cover is more, there's a story just by the cover. And I will show with my example, but I like when I can look at the album cover like 2 years after and realize, oh, I missed a details. Or, oh, I didn't realize that was that figure over there or symbol over there or details I didn't anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So my criteria was more about, is it an art piece by itself?
Right.
Even if it's a part of
the album or the rest.
Of the whole package.
Yeah. Well, see, so you mentioned going back and looking at details. I realized I buy the album. What I used to rip it onto my computer, and then I don't think I really looked at it after. Which is why I didn't realize how much they were all the same and how they were all very unoriginal. I still love all those bands. It's just
So I know for a fact there's some band just slap their logos and be done with it because they don't care or don't have the money or time for that.
But like when I looked it up, like for the one example I have in my mind right now is Simple Plan. Okay, like I think anybody who knows them knows their debut album was the whole party scene with the ladies, like that, but then after that it was all just photos of them with Simple Plan written on it.
That had a purpose
for a while.
Yeah, but that they had a purpose because they were on a cover of a magazine. They were on TV. Like little girls were looking for their faces.
True, and same thing. Like if you Google Backstreet Boys and stuff like that, it's always just them with the name them or NSYNC. Same thing. NSYNC, I think they had one that was more original, but so it was. I feel like a lot of the bands in the genres that I listened to was mostly just band with band name, or even sometimes it was just band name. Like for a while, all the small MySpace bands that I used to listen to for a while, from the scene days, those it was really just like white with the band name doubled, one like blue, one pink to make it pop, and then that was it.
Yeah, so, but most of those cover were made on paint or something similar. Exactly. No, but that's the point. They were making music and they had to put an image somewhere, so they used their talents or the lack of it.
Yeah.
I can't judge because I am not able to draw or assemble like an album cover. So
Yeah.
I even ask you to do that.
I know. It's hard. It's hard.
But there's another point that I found when I was looking for the best album, and that's I think I will mark it because I think it's the first time I will talk about what I do in my life as a job in the podcast. I'm working in the edition publisher. I think in English I'm supposed to say publisher. And there's always like the contrast between you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but if you're working in a bookstore,
Mm-hmm.
that's really funny to translate that. In a bookstore, it's a big part of how you sell a book because that's what people see at the first contact you have with the book, or in our
or a CD,
an album. So you scrolling, but I don't know. I know it sounds dated, but you scroll all the album covers, and oh, this one is nice. Whatever it's on the album, you see what outside of the box.
Yeah, absolutely. And there were bands that I discovered that way from going, like I said, I think I mentioned this before, by going into old CD stores, used CD stores with my dad. I would go into like the alternative rock section and just browse and be like, this is pretty. Let's go listen to it. And
you can make great discoveries like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get into this. What are your let's start by what's your first one? I don't have a specific order for mine.
I have one.
Okay. Well, you can go in order. I'll just go whatever.
Okay. The first one, it's more like a nostalgic pick. It's Dookie by Green Day. I will put all the image during the video.
On your face.
On my face. Perfect. On my face. Because I don't have it here.
Right.
It's hand draw. Seriously, maybe it show my age, but it's looked like something you draw on your school book as a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
So you always have that friend that is good and you don't listen during a course and he's just drawing like, yeah, but I'm pretty sure you weren't drawing apes, showing shit to people. But
I was drawing in all of my notebooks.
So the first time I saw that covers, I was in Columbia House little booklet, and I was attiré, drawn.
Yeah, attracted to that cover because that looked like something my friend and I will draw on our notebooks and shirts or whatever. So I bought that album just by the cover. Really?
And that was a really great surprise. And I remember after that, like I was listening to the album and looking at the small cover because on a CD, they're not that big, but to look at all the details, all the little there's characters, there's monkeys, there's joke because there's Zeppelin on the top, and it's supposed to make a joke to Goodyear, the tires, and it's bad years. So there's all like little
details like that.
Yeah. So I remember just looking at it and like what's the name? Where's Waldo?
Yeah.
So that was
I was going to say where's Charlie, but Charlie's in French.
Yeah. Where's Waldo? Because like there's so many stuff crammed and so many little scenes that you try to find everything, but you can't because your eyes just pass from one to another.
Right.
So this one was my first pick. Like I said, I really like it because I'm pretty sure each time I put the CDs in the CD player, I was looking at it. So that was my nostalgic pick. So what about you?
So one of the ones that I picked, I'm going to start with this one because it's the only one that I don't have a physical copy of it, but it's Blink-182's self-titled album that came out in 2003. So despite saying how I didn't like a lot of the album's art that I found because they were too simple or they were they were not original, like I know this is very simple It's not a complicated, it's nothing too dramatic, but I like the fact I liked it in its simplicity. Like you have the logo with this the face, and then you have the splash of blue and then a little splash of pink. And I guess that might be my artistic side coming out, that I like that, just that little pop of color that's not too overpowering. And I don't know, I was drawn to it when I looked up the albums. And I think it reflects well on the actual album itself, because I think this was kind of labeled as their more mature work compared to their other albums. So yes. It wasn't anything that was too vulgar or anything on the cover. I think the one that they released before that wasn't too bad either.
Range, I think.
No, it was Take Off Your Jacket.
Take off your pants and jacket.
Yes, and it was just like black with the logos, like
the tree dot.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just really liked it. So, yep, that was my one of mine. And like I said, it's simple, but it's still, I don't know. I found it original despite its simplicity.
It was pretty artsy for the genres. Maybe, like you said, it's maybe a way to get more mainstream, I guess.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like that album, they had a lot of more songs that were popular with people who weren't necessarily listening to them before. Like that's the album that had Always, I Miss You.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're pretty big hits.
Exactly. And I think it was the first album that they didn't really have that many jokes in their songs as much. So yeah, I think
I miss those days.
So, I think the album art reflected on that as well.
But that's funny, because that's bring a point about like abstract art versus figurative art.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was pretty abstract, but in a simple way, not too much. That wasn't trippy.
Yeah, true.
It's just like you said, simple and effective.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I guess so. So that was mine.
So our two first pick were pop punk related.
I guess so, yeah. Except the rest is also kind of staying in that genre for me, though.
Not me. Like I said earlier, I really like when an album tells a story by itself. Mm-hmm. And my next pick is, I think it's called Funeral Doom or something, whatever. It's heavy, slow, down-tuned guitars. It's called Chemist, the band, and the album is Haunted. It's an illustrator. He's well known in the scene. It's Sam Turner. When they approach him, because if I'm not mistaken, I'm not an historian, but if I'm not mistaken, all the album covers of that band were designed by the guy. And
okay,
you see there's a wizard, there's a good wizard and a bad wizard.
Okay.
They look the same, but I know there's a story between the two, and there's always a girl. And you saw those three characters on each album.
Okay.
And when the band approached Sam Turner, they asked him to do something inspired by, I don't know if you know Heavy Metal, the magazine.
Nope.
Probably if I show you the image, that was really popular during the 90s. And before that, it's like a mix of heavy metal stuff and soft porn, I guess, and comics. They had a show on TV for a short period of time, but they had that visual. And there's a lot of heavy metal, like classic heavy metal band that use that kind of visual. And why they ask him to do that, they want something that's not linked to the genres they were in.
Okay.
They want something else
to attract others?
No,
or
probably a bit, but they didn't want to have like to drag something that was popular during those years in this genre. They want something like, okay, that's badass for them, that's badass by itself. It's not necessarily linked to our style of music and the
Right.
scene we're linked to, but together that's a good mix. And I
Mm-hmm.
will show the image of the front and the back of the album because it's a whole scene fold together.
Yeah, that looked really cool.
Yeah, and they sells flags. I think like you
That's
can
the
see
full
the
picture.
whole the whole
Mm.
picture, and that's really cool. And I really like the vibe of. Did you ever see Lord of the Ring, the old movie? In it's like water painting with light behind it. It's I think it's like 1978 or 80s.
So I was like, I saw Lord of the Rings, but
No,
no.
but it's before that.
Nope.
They have that
Not that
look.
one.
It's like you see the black line around, and it everything is à plat,
Flattened. Yeah.
flattened. So I like the visual they have and the color palette because I'm not sure like teal is really popular in metal.
No.
Normally it's pretty dark, and
Yeah.
they have like a really
Red.
poppy, yeah, and they had like a really poppy color. That's nice and
Mm.
different. So
It's funny that you mention art style and genres because when I was looking into albums, you saw like definitely, all the bands that I listened to that released music around like 2009, 2008 and stuff like that, they all had the same type of album cover.
yeah, but
Like,
sometimes it's like a phase. Like someone
yeah.
have the perfect example of 2009. It's probably the monster, the neon colored monster.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the metalcore band. In fact, all the how can I say that? Not all the metal band, but all the pop, punk, metal band
Mm-hmm.
from MySpace had or still have a shirt or a visual with neon monsters on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but you don't see that anymore. I'm pretty sure somewhere there's someone who wants to bring that back because
Mm-hmm. Well, I
that
mean,
was
it's everything is a cycle, right? So it's
yeah,
probably going to come back one day.
but that was linked to that scene because
That's true.
someone did it once. Everyone was amazed by it, and
Yeah.
everyone copied it from
And
that.
everybody had merch with something like that, and yeah. And it's funny because I don't know why this just made me think because thinking of MySpace bands and all that always makes me think of the Maine because that's where I discovered the Maine.
Okay.
And like they have pretty original covers. Like some of those were close to getting onto my list because they're not typical. Like after a certain time, it wasn't typical of what you'd find in the genre. But sadly, other ones caught my eye a little bit more. Like like this next one, which is better weather from With Confidence. So this one I can show you because I actually own it. It's right here. So
there's a link between that and the one from Blink-182.
Yeah. So once again, there's the it's simple. There's a little pop of color. There's a kind of like a brick wall texture in the back, which kind of makes you think that this is supposed to be kind of like a graffiti. And when you open it up inside, there's even more colors. It's kind of like watercolor. And I feel like once again, this is the same thing as the reason I chose the Blink one. It's simple. And I know I kind of gave simple a bad rap when I was talking about albums earlier, but it's simple, but I like the little pop of color that comes with it. And I think, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but if you look at it, there's colder colors on the cloud, and then near the sun it's more warm colors.
Probably there's probably someone
it's probably intentional. So I like that idea as well, that Better weather, better. Why do I have so much trouble saying this? Better weather, meaning it's getting better. So the colors get warmer. There's a lot of songs on here that touch on, mental health and stuff like that. So it's also linked to those types of songs. It's like one of their most popular songs off this album is Voldemort. And Voldemort, it's called Voldemort.
Like in Harry Potter?
Yeah. Okay. Because Jaden, he was saying how it's like Voldemort, there's such a stigma around mental illness. So Voldemort, the fear of a name makes it's bigger than the fear of the thing itself. So same thing with mental illness. Sometimes people don't talk about it because they're scared to talk about it. So they made a song like that. Yeah,
that's funny because I always have this theory that Harry Potter is an asylum, and the only sane person is in English, Luna Lovegood.
Luna Lovegood.
Yeah. And she's the only sane person, and she just look at all those crazy ones around her.
Why would Luna be the sane person in all that though?
Because everyone thinks she's crazy.
I see.
but I understand the link between Voldemort and the mental illness because in fact he's probably like depressed. Like if you remove the wizard and magic stuff, he's probably just a guy who got bullied, lost his mom, and just need a hug. It's more complicated than that, but in fact.
Yep. So with confidence, they did a song called Voldemort on this album, and I really like it. I really like this album, and I really like this album. Everybody should go listen to this album. Make
good T-shirt too, because the logo is nice.
That's true. I don't know if they do, because I didn't like them back then yet. Because this was released. I think this was released in when was this released? 2016. So I didn't know them back then. I think I got into them like a year later. And I only saw them in 2018. And by then they were already doing promotion for their upcoming album.
So the merch were all gone.
Yeah. And anyways, for side story for Warped Tour, we went on 2 dates, one in the States, one in Toronto. I told myself I wasn't going to buy stuff in the States because I didn't want to exchange money. But then when the bands came to Toronto, half of them didn't bring the merch. Or they only brought like half of their merch.
So you miss every piece.
So I didn't get to buy merch. Like the main didn't have any of the albums I wanted to buy. I think with Confidence, there was no merch that I wanted at that point. So, but yeah, I was pretty sad. There was stuff that I had seen at the American date, and I was like, okay, I'll get that. And then they weren't there.
Yeah, I think Gabe talked to us a bit about that because they are charged taxes.
Yeah,
on that, I think. So maybe they weren't really pleased by that.
Yep. So what's your last one?
The last one is really, for me at least, a nitpick one. Like I said, I really like when it's a whole package. So you have a visual that bring more to the album, to the music. And on the other side, it can be a totally really great piece of art by itself. And this one really, to me, really give the both side because I think it's by itself, it's really nice. It's dark, but it's really nice. And on the other side, you can't, after you listen to the album, you can't separate them because they are so much linked.
Oh, okay.
So it's Mirror Reaper. Okay. By Bellwitch. That's a doom band. So like earlier, really slow, down tune. And even there's no guitar, it's only bass. So it's downer, way more down. So it's a really sad stories because the band had its own thing. and it's a band with only two people. So
Okay.
it's you're supposed to be really close when there's only two-person in a band,
Mm-hmm.
and the drummer died,
Oh.
and I knew that. Okay, no, rewind a bit. He quit the band because he was ill. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know why, but he quit. And after a couple of months, he died. So the new drummer knew him too. And that was a good friend for both of them, the new band. We're still friends with the whole guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because, sorry, I don't know the names of all those guys, but they decide to do an album for him.
Okay.
So it's one song of an hour, 30 minutes.
Okay, that was just one song because you sent it to me, and I wasn't sure if they did they put the whole album together, or if it was just really one song.
There's three parts, but
Okay.
it's only one song.
Okay. Wow.
And they reach up to the painter. His name is Mariusz Lewandowski. Sorry, he's Polish. And they send them the music, and they explain to him, like, we lost our friend. Here's the song we did about that. And in the song, there's some vocals from the dead guy that was cut on the previous album, and they decide to bring it because in the three part, it's like there's a point of balance. So there's like the dark and the darker side, and in the middle, there's a little bit of vocals from the dead guy. And the painter said when he pushed play, knowing that, he just started to cry.
Oh.
And he just draw this image called Essence of Freedom. And when he sent them to the band, they were just floored. Like, it's so beautiful.
It is beautiful, though.
And it's represent what we are trying to express. So it's, like I said, it's a whole package. And the cool part about that album, the image was so epic and beautiful. It gave a lot of traction to the album, and the album got on the top 10 list of I don't know how many like podcasts, shows, and magazine.
Really?
But the album is good in the genres. If you like that kind of music, the album is really good. But I'm pretty sure without the cover, we're probably
it wouldn't be as
not that much. And the guy, the painter, is like 60 years old. And after that, he exploded in the metal genres. Now,
for sure,
every band wants a picture from that guy. Sorry. So
bless you.
It's a whole package. You can buy the paint because you had some special deal with bands. There's license. You can't sell the whole picture and it's owned by the band, or you can keep the right and just sell them the part. Like you can use it for band promotion.
That, yeah.
So you can buy the paint. It's pretty expensive, but it's like a huge poster. But I'm not sure. I think it's really beautiful, but to me, it's really, really dark and like, I don't know, like depressed.
Well, I mean, it fits with their feelings. It fit with,
Yeah, totally.
It's perfect.
That was like a good meetup between two universes. Like, and that's funny because I read some interview with the painters, and he's like, I'm not even listening to that kind of music. Now, yes, a bit, because now bands send me inquiries and I listen a bit to them. But before that, he's like, I was listening to like Led Zeppelin and stuff like that, like band from my age, but not those like modern metal stuff.
Right. But see, I feel like in metal, the artwork is more thought out.
Maybe.
And it's not all metal, but more metal bands than other genres. I feel like, it's a lot of them is actual art. It's not just a photo. It's not just text slapped onto something. It's really actual concept art.
Yeah, but
I feel like that's more in the metal.
Yeah, genre. But it's a tradition because, like, if you go back, like Iron Maiden, they have like what is his name, Eddie, I don't know if you ever saw a cover of Iron Maiden,
Mm-hmm.
like the characters with the long hair. He's on
Mm-hmm.
every covers. The same thing with like Cannibal Corpse. Yeah, they are disgusting, but it's always the same guy who designed every covers.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe it's part of the culture.
Maybe. Maybe. But
And
that artwork was really pretty though. The one that you picked for your last one. Yeah. Now for my last one, I've got one that's not just simple with paint.
yeah, with splash of colors.
So it's A Rocket to the Moon, their On Your Side album. Um, it kind of it makes me think of kind of like a scrapbook photo. It's like you stuck this into your memory book, and now it's a little bit damaged. Like here, it's kind of getting faded. Here, it's like
Yeah, it reminds
part
me
of
of
it ripped.
a whole Polaroid,
Yeah, yeah,
like just
yeah,
the top part.
yeah. And even inside, there are more kind of like faded photos, and all the lyrics are handwritten inside, and it's like kind of chaotic. And in the back, there's a photo of the band, kind of, but it's blurry. Like it's not just blurry because I'm showing it to you on camera; it's actually blurry. So I don't know. I just really like it. It's the album is called On Your Side. And I don't know if it's maybe also the nostalgia factor. This was an album that I loved in 2009 when it came out. So when I looked at it, I was like, it just feels nostalgic too, because it feels like a photo that you would see in a scrapbook. So I really like that, and same color palette that I like.
Yes, and you have like clouds and stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know. I really found this pretty. And I found that it fit with the album as well. And I liked that A Rocket to the Moon On Your Side. I'm pretty sure that was handwritten by one of the guys. And then, like mass produced, but originally I think it was something that was handwritten. So I don't know. It feels like, it's not just this artwork that was stamped, or it feels more personal.
Yes,
and I think that's what I like about this particular album art. Yeah,
but that help to get into a mood,
yeah,
because
yeah,
like you said, the picture bring back memories, even if it's not yours memories, but you feel like you're looking at a whole photo album.
Yeah. So those are my three. It's funny because, like I was saying, I have all of Day 6 and all of BTS's albums. So I was looking through them. And one thing, like I almost picked, like I had almost picked some of the mains, but I also almost picked some of BTS's, just because for BTS, like I said, I've mentioned this before, you have to, if you collect all four,
yeah, you have
you can put them together, and like they're all kind of linked together. So that's nice. But when you just have one, it kind of, it's just not as cool. Yeah.
No, but yeah, that was funny because when I was looking at all those album covers that I like, that it's always there's something like I remember. Sometime that doesn't mean anything. Like I remember, like for example, at Primus, I think it's the singer. He sculpt stuff in the Play-Doh. Is that the name? And all the album are a piece of art made of Play-Doh. But
Really?
that was funny because I didn't remember all the image, but I remembered that was Play-Doh. So I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. But I think maybe if François Cal was there, he will probably like encourage band to put albums out just for that. Because if you buy something on iTunes or you just listen to Spotify, you don't have that part. I know it's not the central thing, like you want to listen to music, but sometimes you discover that some band have like a really creative member who said, okay, like we'll do a cover with Flip, and I don't know, like I remember what was the band? I don't remember the name of the band, but the insert that was a plastic with the water, like color water, and you can make move like a little boat in it, and
Uh,
it's like the thing you shake for
yeah,
Christmas. It's the same concept, but between two sheet of plastic.
really.
So the one behind, because I was translucent, so the one
Mm-hmm.
behind I had I don't know, I don't remember. I think that was like clouds, the sun, and stuff like that. And there was a little boat in plastic you can make move with your hand.
That's so funny. Well,
Yeah,
it's
but
funny because for day six, their albums for a long time came with like uh well, at first they came with all five guys on different pieces of acetate.
yeah,
And then after a while, it was just one guy. And if you collected enough, maybe you could find all five. But it was kind of similar to that too. But
yeah,
you can't really move them though. It's just when you have all of them, they're you got all of them on the picture.
yeah. And there's some artists that try to build something around like the object.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember Jack White had an album like if you listen to it backward, that was a song like you can spin if you remove, because on the LP there's a piece of paper in the middle
Mm-hmm.
because there's no groove there.
Yeah.
But if you were adventurous enough and remove and peel off the papers, that was Iden's song under it.
What?
Yeah, he built like I don't know, an experience around the album. So I think if you put the album on sun to get it sun faded, there was another image hidden.
What?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
who does that? Who would do that?
but I
Was
did.
it known? Like, was it a known fact?
That was discovered, but pretty fast. From memories, I think like 2 weeks after the release, like there were a whole Reddit subreddit full of people like, okay, I did that, because after someone find one
Then
funky
you're
thing,
trying everything.
yeah, and but that was the point, because what the name is, 3 Inches Man, I think the name of his production,
I don't know. I have no
uh,
idea.
because now he own like a studio, his own distribution model.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably, I know it's not your style of music, but I know, but no, not really, because the White Stripe are on there on that label and stuff like that. But he always like have a, okay, the next album from the White Stripe. Yeah, it's just an example, but there was only like 300 press, and after that they're gone. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure when he came out with his own album to start up the thing, he want to show that he can bring something different to the table.
Okay.
So I think that was like a marketing stunt.
Mm-hmm.
But there were so many things hidden in the same album that was crazy. Like you said, who does that? And I'm pretty sure like he was like never sleep for a week and just think about a new funky
Yeah.
thing to
What else
do.
can I do? Yeah. Well, but I mean, you mentioned earlier that François Carl would say that people should do cool album art to entice people to buy, but I don't look at I don't look at it. It's what
Yeah,
I
but you buy
realized.
them.
I
You're
buy
the
them.
one. You're the one who buy album.
I buy them. I look at them once and then I put them away
Why?
to own it.
Yeah, but that's part of being a collector.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that about makes the rounds for our album art episode. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that was a good fun game to do with all the cover, and
So hard.
I'm pretty sure we'll push the stop record button, and I will remember another one, and or someone will talk to me about another album I didn't know. So there's always sometimes something to discover.
And I feel like, this is my pick this week. Maybe a year ago or a year from now, it might not be the same ones.
Probably,
Because
yeah.
I feel like this time I just really liked the stuff with teal.
Yeah, it's the summer vibe.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this was Sparkling Harmonies. We're your hosts, Lily.
And François.
And come check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We post little clips or full videos. And come back and listen to us next time. Thank you.
Bye.